Hello, good evening, and welcome to Ubuntu channel. We are live today, the 15th of March, and we are hosting Ubuntu Sports. And I'm not alone. I'm joined by super sport commentator Bwezani with Zambian football, and he's ready just to break down whatever that we have prepared for tonight. Good evening, Bwezani. Welcome to Ubuntu Sports.
Thank you so much, Ruben. Good evening, viewers and listeners. It's always this great to wait for this Friday to just dissect the Zambian football game.
Great. Just before we go in our topics today, just want to hear from you. What does it take to be a commentator, Bwezani?
I was, I was not
I know
expecting the
I'm
question.
yeah.
Yeah, what does it take to be a commentator? First, is to study the laws of the game, just the same course that the referees go through, and these laws keep changing. To just correct you, I'm not a super sport commentator. I'm a super sport co-commentator. So the commentator is Frank FTJ and Matimba Konje. So now,
Okay.
yeah, now the co-commentator, you really need to study the laws of the game, just the same course that the referees do, because you are an expert analyst. Okay, so the commentator will run you through what is happening on the field of play, and the co-commentator will explain why some things are happening. Okay, like when there's a foul, the co-commentator will explain why it is a foul or why it's a red card, and this is where it becomes very difficult because the commentator will just wait for you. Okay, let's see what happened. Then it's your role now. So there's a very bigger part to make sure that you've taken your keen interest to study the laws of the game, and take note that the laws of the game are most of the time adjusted. So that's the biggest difficulty in it. But thank God we are there. We manage at least.
So you don't even have to be a former footballer.
Yeah, I know this is the topic in the country right now. Look, there's always an advantage if you're a former footballer. Let's not run away from that, because you may have played football, you may have been coached by a lot of coaches. The football language, you understand it more than anyone, than that one who has never actually played football. So that's the advantage part of it. But then the adverse of it is also that these things are reading, studying, making sure that your school has a lot to do with whatever is going on. Because, look, the game is the same. Whether those that have played football and those that have not played football, we read the same books. And that's the reason some have actually become more experts than those that have played football before. It's the way you take it and how you learn fast about the game.
All right. Let's go through what we've prepared tonight. So Bay FC, an American club that signed Kundananji, just posted and confirmed that Kundananji has actually arrived in America and she's joined the team. How did you receive that news, Bwezani? Are you excited with Kundananji now? It's confirmed she's with Bay FC and she's arrived, and the team has confirmed that she's training.
Well, I'm excited, but of course she has landed at the wrong time when her friends are training. She is not training. She is not training with that nagging injury that she got in the Ghana game. But the fact that she is now in America confirms the fact that she'll be playing for Bay. And look, it's the best news that we all have been waiting for. And we just hope she can actually land running. Yeah, this injury is going to be frustrating. Thank God she's not even coming for the Morocco game. She needs to settle down as quickly as possible to just make sure that nothing goes wrong. We wish her all the best. The excitement was there when it was announced that she's going. We have already gotten used to it. The only thing we are looking for now is how does she land running into that club? Because, Ruben, I'll tell you the truth, there are stars in that game. Arsenal players, former Arsenal players. Ashola, the girl from Nigeria, very experienced, more than Kundananji. So she seriously needs to be good, especially when she breaks into that team. She really has to work extra hard. Goodness, she's a strong minded girl, and she will know exactly what to do to compete.
All right. Mr. Abia, are you able to hear us now?
Yes, I'm able to get you, Ruben. I think for the news of Rachel Kundananji arriving at Bay FC was a very good news. And she has also received a warm welcome by the club fans. I think what Gwezana said that she has got injuries. We just wish her a very quick recovery so that she can be on the pitch as soon as possible.
All right. Thank you very much. It will be very difficult again just to watch Kundananji because I was just checking the fixtures. The league actually opens. They've got a match on Monday, the 18th of March, against Angel City, and issues of time difference again, Gwezani. All the games will be starting at 0-1. The second game will be at 0-2, 0-4 because of the time difference. How do we now be preparing and watch our ladies play in this time and season?
So basically, the issue will be, look, women football is more interesting now. Believe you me, other people will wake up at that time to just stream and watch. And then, of course, most of what we'll be watching of Kundananji, generally, will be highlights of the cut and paste on what she is doing. Because, look, the time difference of America, remember, when America hosted the World Cup, you need to be strong to watch it. Because you have to be watching it around 0-2, 0-1. So it's all understood. But look, the Zambians being determined on how they are, you will see a lot of these things just flowing and making sure that everyone has a clip on what is going on.
And just during the day, you broke the news that in terms of FIFA ranking, the Xpolo or the Copper Queens have actually moved from 70 to 65. How big is that news?
It's huge. I think this is one thing that we have failed to appreciate. We Zambians only want good news, okay? And if you see, nothing much has been talked about these women, okay? But this is the best women's team that we've ever had in this country. You can actually see their steady progress. Last week on this show, we were talking about qualification to the Olympics, qualification to the WAFCON, qualification to the World Cup, talk about the numerical COSAFA tournaments, and now knocking out Ghana, who were playing excellently well. You expected that rise on the FIFA ranking, which is very huge. Okay, so we have a tie against Morocco. Should we manage to get past Morocco, to be huge. And now people take these things as academic. No, they are not. They actually help. The more you are ranked high, you are saved a lot with the draws in these competitions, because if you are ranked very high, you'll definitely be seeded. And this is the reason as why you saw we didn't participate much in the, what is that again, in the WAFCON qualifiers. We had to jump some steps. That's what seeding means, and that's what these FIFA rankings talk about. So it's very, very great motivation to the nation, and of course all the best to the girls, because they are the ones that are actually making it very possible to go to those heights.
Yeah, I know it's historical, but how can you then move from 65, maybe come to 20 or 15? How can we still improve? I think there's still some room to, or a lot of work to do.
No. It's look at the jump from the 70s now to the 65. Just the mere qualification to the Olympics will be a very big statement. That is one. Remember, we have qualified to WAFCON. We will be going to WAFCON. I think it will be in Morocco. Look, we already should be looking at getting out of the first group. Those are marks already that will make us move downward, at least 40, 30. It is very possible. Okay, and also take note that that is the FIFA World Ranking. Okay, We are not talking about the Africa rankings. Okay, so the Africa rankings, I have to check again, but we are doing very well. So the more we do very well for the Olympics qualifier and as well as the WAFCON proper, there will seriously be very big development on the ranking of the Copper Queens.
All right, let's move forward. And our director just gave us the table. Games are running away. We've got 10 games starting tomorrow, up to the time that the league is coming to an end. With one team that is in the relegation zone, and the team that seems like the old going back to a national league is Trident. Yes, there's also, we're being told that Joseph and Albert, who are fired, brought in a new coach. Can they still survive relegation?
No, they will not survive relegation. Trident are done, and I think they are also aware that they are done. Their maximum points is now 43 because they only have 13 points. So their maximum is 43. For a team to survive, they will have to look at they have to at least get to 40 points.
40.
Yeah, 40 points. Although we'll have to check again because things are not looking very clear this season. So it's something that Trident are aware. So even the letting go of their coaches, it is just something which we all expected because this team, apart from the fight for relegation, they are also fighting for sponsorship. They've been dealt a very big blow by their sponsor. So not everything is going well for Trident. Look, 13 points after 24 games is seriously a dent in the Zambia Super League. You can't have teams that can actually get so little wins in 24 games. The question that will be asked is, were they really ready for this season? Yes, they finished as top in the national division one last season, but the question is, were they ready? How did the preseason go? So for me, I'm now looking for the other three teams that are going to go down with Trident. For me, Trident is done. Yes, mathematic-wise, they are still there, but let's look at it technically. They are out of the race.
All right. Let me also hear from you, Mr. Abia. But then saying Trident, for them it's done. What about you? What do you think of Trident? And also give us the picture of Chipata United, because they're also in a similar situation, they're also in a relegation zone in terms of the National League.
Yeah, first of all, I'll start with Sparta United, the one we have asked at the end. Sparta United, they were supposed to play Atletico Lusaka at the weekend, but just because the preparation of Youth Day, the president was here, the game couldn't be played, so it has been pushed to a later date. And right now, they are preparing to go away to play Aguila Stars. They are in the relegation zone, yes, but if they win or draw in the on Saturday when they are playing Aguila Stars, they will be out of relegation zone. So I think the chance of surviving for Sparta United are very high because they still have a game to play, and so I think they have 4 or 3 matches at home. So I think that can help also the team to qualify. For Trident, I can concur with Bwezan that they are done because we are talking about 43 points with the 10 games remaining, but the truth is they cannot win all the 10 games that have remained. They can't. So they will lose some, they will draw some, they will win some. So I think they will not get enough points for them to move away from that red zone. Congratulations to Nkana for moving out of the relegation zone. Thank you, Ruben.
Right. But then what next now for Albert Achinga and also Mr. Joseph Musonda? They ran away from Prison Leopards when the results were not okay. Went to Trident, but things didn't work out still there. What next for them? Hi, boys, are you still there?
He is muted.
Okay. He's muted. I don't know if he's still there or maybe internet issues. But Mr. Abia, look, Coach Albert Kashinga and together with Joseph Musonda moved out from Prison Leopards because things were not going on well. Went to Trident, and still the situation continued. It seems like you've said, like the team now will be relegated. What next for these coaches? Where else can they go now?
The problem, Ruben, is that these guys are not be given a lot of time. To make a team, make a good team. For instance, I'll give you an example of what is happening in Europe in terms of Arsenal. Look at how Arteta started the team from. The first year ended up in position number 8, and he also ended up in the following season on position number 7 or 6. But right now he's a competitor. He's competing for Premier League. So I think these coaches, they need time. For you to have a team, a winning team, it took time. And it took also the availability of funds of that club. So if the club is not helping the coaches, what is it going to help them to qualify again? So it will be also a matter of a huge mountain to climb. So I think it's not that these two, they are bad coaches. They are good, but the time that the time they're having with the club, I think is very little. So we need clubs need to rethink on how they can have these coaches at a longer time period so that they can have a winning team. If the resources are there, yes, we can complain that no, try another coaches. But the resources are not there. There are just a few. The sponsorship is a problem. Then you are saying you are chasing a coach on administrative leave. I think that is not helping in our Super League. This is why, Ruben, when you have a champion and the runners-up, when they go to continental football, they fail to perform because they don't have competition in the league. So how can our club compete when in the league there is no competition? We need competition in the team. So if we can resolve those problems, then our league will stand a much better chance of competing in the CAF Champions League.
All right. Hope you're able to hear me now. So when you look at the table now, almost the teams up to number 8, where Zanaco is, they still stand a chance of them being relegated. Which other team, apart from Trident, is going to go down into the National League? Okay, it seems we still have changes with Bethany. Mr. Abi, are you able to get this one? So, apart from Trident, like you've said, which other 3 teams now?
Okay, so
go ahead, Bezan.
Are you able to get me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah. So you brought out a very good point, because the for me it's where Zanaco is coming down. That is number 8 coming down. Of course, Zanaco, Mufulira Wanderers, those, if you reach them the points tally of 30, you are actually getting closer, because for 30 you need 10 more points from 30 points, so which is very possible. Understand? But I think the biggest issue here is winning their games. All the teams, like now we can even talk about Mufulira Wanderers, Zanaco itself, Forest Rangers, Konkola Blades, Nkana, Mutondo Stars, Green Buffaloes, Napsa Stars, Kazanshi Dynamos, and Prison Leopards. I think it's not looking very good for Prison Leopards. If you check now, why I'm saying so is this: even a win in this weekend's game does not get Prison Leopards out of that relegation zone. That's where things become difficult. Okay, unlike other teams like Kazanshi Dynamos, one win they go to 28. You look at a team that is on 28, it is Mutondo Stars. Okay, so this is what is making other teams have a bit of hope. Now for Prison Leopards, 10 10 games to go, you win a game, you are still in the relegation zone, you can't move out. So they are likely, seriously likely to be contenders. Then the other two, it's very difficult to say right now because all the teams, all these that are on 29, you look at the form of Green Buffaloes, it's worrying. They've only managed 4 points from the possible 18 points. It's telling you to say things are not as good as they started. Anyway, they had a very poor season. And then you see the identical stats on all the teams, like 5 teams that are below. They've lost their last 2 games. All of them, they have lost their last 2 games. It tells you it's very difficult for them, and they will need a lot of motivations to change that form, because changing a form from bad to good is not easy. It's a very difficult thing, and this is why these teams seriously have to wake up, focus, because these are the signs of relegation. Napsa Stars, very shocking indeed. They're playing very good football, failing to score, and that's the result. Understand? So it's a tricky situation, but Prison Leopards looks also like they're likely to join Trident. The other two, it is still a fight that we'll have to wait, maybe by week 30.
But at this stage, can we declare Nkana to be safe now? The way they've performed the last 2 games, the last 5 games, they've won. They've won about 3 games, drawn 1. They seem to be looking good so far.
Yeah, and can we confirm them to be safe? That's risky. You can't, because should they lose against Napsa Stars and other results go against them, they actually drawn back into the relegation zone. You understand? That's the danger. The points different of the teams that are fighting relegations are so close, making it very difficult for analysts, for statisticians to look at this table and say they are safe. But should they win, well, they will seriously push themselves as far as possible from the relegation zone. You talked about the form. Only 2 teams in the last 6 games are able to beat them. Okay, if you're talking about form, they've actually accumulated more numbers in the last 6 games, only third to Red Arrows and Power Dynamos. Okay, so because if you put up the 6 games that we are talking about Nkana, they have collected 13 points from the possible 18, which is very healthy for a team that was struggling in the first round. So I think with that, we seriously need to be excited for what Ian Bakala has done, and we all know where it is coming from. The January transfer window was utilized very well by Nkana. I was doing commentary on the Nkana Mufulira game. All the players that were brought in January were playing. Mongandala in goal, Idris Ilunga Mbombo up front, Austin Banda in the midfield. There was another player, I think. Okay, so all those started.
Except
Chishinga Toshi.
Except
Sate was, yeah, Sate didn't play, but Chishinga Toshi from Forest Rangers was also in the thick of things in that defense. So it will tell you exactly what Ian Bakala was looking for. He found them, and you can tell the run is excellent.
Right, Mr. Abia, do you agree with Bozani? There are a lot of teams that still stand in terms of being relegated. Which one do you think are going to be relegated, apart from the Trident that you already said that will be relegated this season?
Ruben, I can take Prison Leopard. Prison Leopard, they are ready to go and join Sparta United in the National League. And in my view also, I have Kansashi Dynamos also joining them. Then I will not be surprised if Napsa Stars can be relegated. Because why? Then I'll come with because now. Because Napsa Stars, it has been their behavior. They will go down today, tomorrow they will come back and fight again. So I will not be surprised if they can get relegated. But if I have to choose which team can
it has
go,
only happened once. Why are you saying it's a story for every season? It has only opened from the time they changed the name from NAPSA to Profound Warriors. They've only been relegated once. But the way Abia are coming out, it's like they go down, they come back. They go down, they come back. It's once, man.
All right. I'll not argue with you that because of time, but I'll say I'll not be surprised. That's my language. Okay. In terms of how many times, let's leave it for another day. If I have to choose which another team to join apart from Napsa Stars, I can say Trident, Prison, Kansashi. If I have to choose another four, is Mtondo Stars to join in the relegation. I would not like to see Napsa Stars going to National League or Green Buffalo to go to National League. I think this team have been giving us a wonderful football in terms of Premier League. So if Green Buffaloes and Napsa Stars can go down to National League, it cannot be a healthy league without GBFC, without Napsa Stars. But if Napsa Stars chooses to go down, I'll not be surprised if Green Buffaloes chooses to stay in the Premier League. I have no doubt about Nkana because their next opponent is Napsa Stars. So I don't see Napsa Stars beating Nkana in the form which Nkana are right now. So I think for me, Nkana, they will not go back to the red zone, Ruben. I can assure you. I can assure you they will not go back there. We belong to the Premier League, Ruben. Look, we are the highest team of winning Premier League so far in the league. So how can it be possible a team which has a good history in the Premier League to go down to the National League? This is why we have a good transfer program in the January so that we can maintain to be in the Premier League. So the Kalampa now are capping any team opponent that are coming. If you are lucky, you get a draw with us. Thank you, Ruben.
All right, we'll wait to see, and the game will be played at Woodland Stadium, where Napsa Stars will be hosting Nkana. Talking about Napsa Stars, Boizani, what is really happening there? Because this is a team that, yes, was relegated, then won the APSA, came back to the Premier League, survived relegation last season, though. Okay, this season things seem to have started not so well for them, and it seems that the trend has continued even the second round. What's really happening at Napsa Stars? This is one of the clubs that is well funded, but we've seen a lot of players leaving. One of their top scorers in Kapembo are leaving. Was of the who was that Jimmy Mikia playing at Kansanshi, went on loan there. What is really happening at Napsa Stars?
So I think most of them are administration issues. You can see where this whole is coming from. Napsa Stars did change the modalities of appreciating players from signing on fee to gratuity. And this is the reason you saw a lot of players actually leaving, because they were not so much keen to stay on with a gratuity issue. A soccer player these days works for a signing on fee. Okay, now if you remember the game they won against Green Buffaloes, most of their players were actually running out of contract. Okay, Austin Banda leaving. He's actually looking good at Nkana. Luca Banda was almost leaving, and I think they signed those contracts in the night before the Green Buffaloes game. Okay, so this is unsettling for the players first of all, and it takes a lot of motivation out. Okay, so for me, I think it's not only on the pitch. The off the field issues have seriously affected Napsa Stars, and this is the result of what this can do. Not a very good healthy situation. Just like Abia has said, well, they are likely to go down. You understand? And I don't think it would be fair to blame Peri Mutapa. You look at the transfer window. You look out the players that were brought in. Okay, they can't. You can't even count more than 3. You understand? I think for the whole season, including the transfer window before the season started, the mark transfer that you can say this one is the one is that of Marvin Jerry in January. Okay, the Oburu transfer, Oburu was not playing any football at Zesco United. So basically, it's been very poor, okay? And I think it has something to do with the stringent measures that the funder is actually looking at, because the team has struggled.
Right. It seems that it's not the only team that is struggling. Zesco United in the second round, it seems also they're struggling, even though they picked up a win last weekend at Edwin Imbwela. Things don't seem to be working so well for Chicken Wandamina. His team is just scoring a goal. Also, something is not happening at Zesco United, Bozan. This is not the way they started the first round.
Yeah, but if you go back again to the first round, you'll see a lot of inconsistency. Games which you would think they are winning, they'll be drawing. Yeah, and this is the reason they've seriously have had a lot of challenges now to take over Red Arrows. Okay, now if you look at the whole 24 weeks, it's Zesco United are actually the club that has sat on top more times. I think about 10 times. Red Arrows is only about 7 or 8 times. Power Dynamos not yet. Forest Rangers the first 2. So they are still the form team if you look at the host statistics of the season. But it is the inconsistency that is actually affecting them. Already just 2 wins in the last 6 with 3 draws and 1 loss. It's not looking like it is the chicken that we all know. So we need to wait and see. The one new victories are dangerous because any team can come back, draw. That's how they drew with the last game. I think they played against Konkola Blades, where they looked like they were winning. Konkola Blades came back to equalize. That has been the most frustrating thing for Zesco United fans.
And also that Power Dynamos. Do you think maybe the transfer for Kemuka has affected the team?
Yes, without a doubt. That would be one of the biggest contributing factors. Also, you want to look at the replacements, not really replacing him. At least we're going to go for a like and like, a player who is able to play left, right, throw in those balls in the box. That's what Kemuka was doing, and he got a lot of assists. Understand? So yes, they are missing him, but I think they had all the time to replace him.
They brought JJ Were. All right. Let's look at the fixtures that starts tomorrow. We enter into week 5, and we're just remaining with 10 games.
Now, very different positions.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bazan. We're about to hear you.
Yes. Which fixture did you take?
I was saying the Green Eagles versus Green Buffaloes game. ZNS versus Zambia Army.
Okay. So that as I said, Green Buffalo. Can I go ahead?
Yes. We can hear you. All right. We seem to get to Bezani. Mr. Abia, let me go to you. And you know the first game tomorrow. Green Eagles is hosting one of the favorite teams, Green Buffaloes, the Nyanta Boys, who are also fighting or trying to run away from the relegation zone. How do you see this coming out?
Yeah, it will be a very difficult game because Green Eagles, when they're at home, they are stubborn. But I think with the fighting of relegation, which Green Buffaloes are, I think they can record the win. Failure to record the win, I think they'll come up with a draw. But it will be a tough one, guys. It will be a tough game.
All right. Let's look at the Trident. Trident, you said relegation. They host Forest Rangers, who are also not their good form when you look at the way they are playing this season. In the last 6, they've only won once, and the rest is either they've lost or they drew. Forest Rangers versus Trident. How do you? What's your prediction, and also how do you see this game coming out at the end of the day?
I think also Trident, when they're playing at home, they're also stubborn. But these Forest Rangers, they're looking at the back. At the back, Nkana is trying to give them an indicator that anytime soon we are going to overtake you. So I think this time around it will be a very difficult game, but I think this one will end with a draw.
Okay, let's look at your team now. Remember the game we're talking about here. Teams that are also fighting a relegation zone. Yes, we know Nkana has run away from the red zone so far, but Napsa Stars is there, and they are at Woodard Stadium. They'll be hosting Nkana. This game, what's your prediction?
If this is a team where we can have and elevate there's a language that I'm looking for. I think we can do a revenge because this is a team that wanted to relegate at last time. So I think we need to prepare very hard. Looking at the form which Nkana is now, I have no doubt that we are going to collect the 3 points against Napsa. But it will be very difficult because Napsa, they're at home and they're in a red zone. They are looking also to go out from that red zone. But it will be a very difficult game. But a win for Nkana is a must. If failure to win, this game will end up with a draw.
Let's look at the last match. Big one, Mufulira Wanderers, the 45 passes team, is hosting Muza, the team that is trying by all means just to play Continental once again. One of the big games. Your prediction?
Yeah, Muza surprises me when they beat Zanaco. They came and lost to Nkana. But this time around, it's very difficult to predict because FC Muza is looking at the distance which they have to reach in the top 2. It's almost about 5 points. So, yeah, it's about 5 points. And Mufulira Wanderers, I think for now, they feel that potential of going down to the relegation zone because if you can see where Nkana is and where Napsa Stars is, I think it's about 4 points. So it's also a danger zone is also indicating to them. So I think this game, Mufulira Wanderers being at home, I think it will be a draw.
All right. But just take us through the fixtures of this weekend and what your prediction and your preview is.
Okay, so I think my network is being affected by Abian, and I don't know what he's doing. I think he's pulling some plugs. Now,
the wise came from Easterners. You will respect us, huh?
Yeah, I think Green Eagles. That game is 15 hours tomorrow, Saturday. I think they'll edge Green Buffaloes 1-0. That's my prediction. Mufulira Wanderers at home to FC Muza. FC Muza has been good, but I think it's very difficult to pick maximum points. So it will be a revenge. Mufulira Wanderers beating FC Muza 1-0. I'm seeing a draw between Power Dynamos and Cabo Warriors. That game is live on Super Sport, 15 hours at Arthur Davis Stadium. I think there will be a draw. If you look at Power Dynamos in the last 2 games against Green Buffaloes and Kansanshi, they've not really been fluent enough. The fluidity has not clicked very well. So I think they'll be tested, especially after Cabo Warriors managed to beat Konkola Blades 1-0 at home. So that's a draw for me. Nkana away to Napsa Stars. The last time Napsa beat Nkana was in 2015. Seth Sakala scored. I think it was on the 8th of October. 2015. Seth Sakala scored 1-0. That was the last time that they beat Nkana. I don't see them beating Nkana again. I think that looks like a draw again. It could be a score draw, like 1-1. Which other fixture? Red Arrows versus Inkwazi is a very exciting game. Red Arrows know exactly what is happening on that top. If they manage to win, well, it would be massive. Now, let me tell you about Red Arrows. They've never lost a derby in Lusaka this season, and they've actually been scoring high number of goals. And Nkwazi has improved lately, but I think it would be too much to expect Nkwazi to beat Red Arrows. I think that's one of the few away wins that we are going to see this weekend. I'm seeing Red Arrows at least beating Nkwazi. Can I say 2-1? So those are my predictions, Ruben. They may not be friendly, but that's what I think. Then Prison Leopards at home to Mtondo.
Yeah.
If Prison don't win, then they'll be relegated. So, for the sake of football, I think they will edge Mutondo Stars.
The Sunday fixture.
The way Red Arrows are, the way they are playing right now, I think if they will continue like this, they can win the Premier League. But my hope is, if this performance we are seeing today has to be applied in the CAF Champions League, that's my prayer.
All right. But then the last game, we've not given us the prediction for the Zesco versus Kansanshi Dynamos. All right, seems Bwezani's network is still tripping. Abio, can give us that prediction for the last game so that we close it off. Zesco hosts Kansanshi. Teams that are on different poles. Zesco second, fighting to go top, and Kansanshi also trying to run away from relegation. How do you see this coming out?
This time around, I think for Kansanshi Dynamos, they will record a loss because the Zesco United, they're also looking at the back. They're looking at the pace Power Dynamos are coming. They're looking about the pace FC Modes are coming. They want to maintain there. So I think Kansanshi Dynamos, I think for today, not all days are Sundays. This time around, you'll be placed on Friday. So I think a win for Zesco against the Kansanshi Dynamos.
Thank you very much, Mr. Abe, for that summary, and also thank you very much to Bwezani. You can follow him on Facebook on this tag Bwezani with Zambian Football. He's the one that gives us this Premier League table and give us the forms of the teams and also the analysis of the games. So we appreciate you also to you, our viewers, and also to our listeners for following Ubuntu channel. We continue bringing you Ubuntu Sports every Friday, 20 hours. But for now, it's goodbye from us, and God bless you.